This is the last then at Happy Valley, race number 9. We finished the season in the city with the Sun Jewellery Handicap, which is a Class 2 contest over the 1,200 metres, headed by Speedy King, who's runner-up here last time out behind Saul's Special, Speedy Vision, or Speed Vision. He's a 3-time course and distance winner. Super Turbo won this race last year. David Hall and Matthew Poon. Water Diviner was a course and distance winner in February. Waldorf completed his hat-trick last time out, gets the inside gate with Karis Teton. Sunny Boy up in class. Happy Valley for the first time for him. Handsome Bobo will try and roll forward from barrier 10. Loving a Boom, last start course and distance winner into Class 2 for the first time. And Prance Dragon also up in class, having won course and distance last time too. Alfred Chan taking £10 off his back. Waldorf and Perfect Glory are the horses that have been up at Chung Fa within the last 30 days. We've made our way to the touchscreen to have a look at the speed map here and a couple of key races as well for our final events. And, well, it looks pretty frantic here. Good to fast predicted, Brad.
Certainly does. It is the Sun Jewellery Handicap. Maybe there's an omen there for Tornado Twist, trained by John Size as well. But yes, Sunny Boy, jump and run. He's been forward in a recent trial. Speed Vision's very similar, jump and run. We know Handsome Bobo as well. So there's a lot of pace already there. Waldorf actually got back a long way last start, hunted the rail, was able to drive through, but he has a nice barrier. Speedy King could be sort of vying for potentially that spot too. Over the fast 1,200 metres here. We know the get back is Loving a Boom, Super Turbo as well. Tornado Twist likely to get back too. Prance Dragon's an interesting one here with Alfred Chan aboard. Of course, he did beat home Loving a Boom a few starts ago. He might be potentially a little bit closer, but I don't think they'll be going very slow in the early stages.
No, we'll have a look at that run of Prance Dragon, Loving a Boom in a minute. Track work though first, Paul.
Super Turbo, we did win on the last Happy Valley meeting last season and has been placed before this horse towards the end of this one. So he does like the end of a season, the Super Turbo. He should get his chance from barrier 6, and his last couple of runs haven't been too bad either. He was a little bit more forward last start. Tornado Twist goes nicely. His good runs were earlier in the season, Tornado Twist. But look, he's been quite consistent, and his third behind Yi Chong Baby wasn't too bad at his last start. Just gets back. That's his thing. And Sunny Boy, look, he's looked really good. I think he's got plenty of rating points in hand, this horse. Nice, big, strong horse who's going really well at the moment. Just got mugged late by Real Busy. Prior to that, he led all the way, won well.
All right, OK, that's Sunny Boy, of course, trained by John Moore. And that's where we'll start, in actual fact, with John speaking to Ed Sadler at Track Work.
Sunny Boy, John, you would have been happy with his trial recently?
Very, very happy. A lot of setbacks, but he's sound now. I don't see any problem. I think he'll get round the tight turns really well because he's a big boy, and you know, his trial was very, very good the other day. So you know, from a good gate, I think he's drawn gate 5, should be there. I would think in front or outside the leader, and you know, again, very hard to beat.
Up to Class 2, but is there more to come from him?
Oh, definitely. I bought him as a Class 1 horse to compete in the group level, but being that big boy he is, we had setbacks, you know, in front, behind, and it was painstakingly, you know, time required to get him, you know, right the ship. But now he's right, and as I said, I don't see any problems about handling Happy Valley. He'll go straight over to the fence from the gate unless somebody kicks up inside him or even outside him. But again, I think he's the horse to beat. All right, so John Moore thinks he might be a group horse for the future. Done nothing wrong so far, really, hasn't he?
No, when you look at the barrier, the ones inside of him, he can probably cross them fairly well. But as we looked at with the speed map, Speed Vision probably won't leave him alone, and maybe sort of looking for a battle for the rail potentially.
Yeah, I think I agree with John. He's pretty confident they're going to that. Yeah. I think he is a Class 1 horse plus, so I'm going to make him my best.
All right, Derek Long will be riding Sunny Boy. So look at a couple of the others though, and starting off with Prance Dragons. This is him beating Loving a Boom. Alfred Chan's going to be taking £10 off his back. You'd think weight-wise that's certainly got to help, but Loving a Boom, well, he was very impressive last time out, so you've got to take that into consideration too. Yeah,
he reeled off a really good, strong sectional last start when he overhauled Planet Star. Obviously, that's a different class, Class 3 now into Class 2, but he comes in with a lightweight, still looks progressive. There's a handful of horses in this race that have their last opportunity to claim the high achievement bonus. Sunny Boy is one of them. Loving a Boom has till the end of the calendar year. Prance Dragon is another who has it dissolving after this race. So it's going to be a mean contest. I think there's going to be some good racing.
Yeah, I've got them both, and I think they'll both run pretty well. Loving a Bloom and Loving a Boom and France Dragon.
I think the key is, what Speed Vision does to Sunny Boom. If Speed Vision wants to, push the issue with the blinkers back on and Sunny Boom lets him go, then that might be the ideal scenario for Sunny Boom.
Boy.
Sunny Boom, goodness me.
Speedy King, this one is, along with Handsome Bobo.
It's a Class 7, Andrew.
If he steps, Handsome Bobo, because he hasn't been the quickest out of the gates in the past. Here's last year's win in Super Turbo. Have they set him up for the return? And Perfect Glory as well. He's back to his right trip. He's been well beaten on his last couple of starts.
Yeah, and when he did win, he had a perfect run. It was a great ride from Zach. It's interesting, Zach is jumping back aboard him. He's ridden a few of these horses before. I thought Handsome Bobo had every chance in this race from a low draw, and I think he'll struggle from the high draw.
He's another pace influence, again, potentially maybe trying to soften up Sunny Boy and also Speed Vision, but a much better barrier draw here for Perfect Glory. When you look back to his previous form, when he's drawn low, he has been closer. So that's a little tick, I would have thought. Yeah,
and Super Turbo, he won this race last year. The year before, he finished second in this race to Southern Legend. Waldorf, hard to knock what he's been doing this season. And this was another win on this occasion. There he is back on there. So it was 3 on the bounce for him now.
Yeah, it is. Can he make it 4? I'm not sure. The class is the issue. It's a question mark alongside of his name. He's never been into this grade. Neither Sunny Boy, but both are going particularly well. Prance Dragon's another one too, trying the class for this first time along with Loving a Boom. So there's so many different angles to look at with this race. It makes it all the more difficult to try and sort out one from the other. But Waldorf, it's hard to knock his form. Yeah,
he's going really well and he keeps improving this horse. He's got barrier 1. He's the main danger, I thought, to Sunny Boy.
All right, here's Tornado Twist back at the trials here. He's amongst the list of nominations for Champion Griffin this season.
Yes, he is. And you would probably think that he's going to be sitting back and hoping that they crunch each other up front and he can come into it late. His most recent trial here, he was pushed on to find the line. Obviously, a lot of his better efforts, I think, stronger efforts, I think it's fair to say. Not that his recent efforts have been bad, but when he was winning, obviously, were earlier on in the season. Saying that, he's been, narrowly defeated in a couple of his recent runs. But I expect him to be there, in sort of landing his punches late.
All right, OK. Well, those are some of the clues. Paul, who comes out on top for you? I probably don't need to ask, actually. I think I know the answer.
Yeah, Sunny Boy, clearly, for me. I think he's a really nice horse. Going 3 set, really fast sectionals last start, and it was just mug late. Happy Valley will suit him down the ground. Waldorf, the hardest to beat. He just keeps improving this horse. Super Turbo, with all that form, and from last season, this particular race, and his history with it. And Loving a Boom, just ahead of Prance Dragon, actually. So I tossed up between the two. I put Loving a Boom in 8, 6, 3 and 10, but I do like the 8.
Fabulous race to close the card. A lot of chances. Obviously, the way the track plays may potentially help some rather than other. I ended up going with Love a Boom, just like the way he really swoops late. I think he's got more rating points in hand. Perfect Glory, Speedy King, Tornado Twist. You can see there, I bank at the 10. I've sort of included Waldorf as well. I've left out Sunny Boy. That could be a big error. It's a fabulous race, really.
It really is. Yeah, I've gone with Sunny Boy. Loving a Boom, I've left out. He's just got me second-guessing myself at this stage, but he could be a really nice horse, as you point out, Brad. All right, stats-wise, final meeting of the season at Happy Valley. Who do we finish with? The King of the Valley.
Thought it was good to finish off with Casper here, especially these last 5 meetings. 55% first 3 rate. He's had the 33 runners, 7 wins, 6 seconds and 5 thirds. We'll have a look at his runners through the cards. He's got plenty of chances once again here. Aurora Pegasus's in the first. Good old Speedy Wally in folding. Jumbo Happiness in the early part of the card. And his last 3 there. E-Master, Tangmere, both good chances. And Zach Purden will round out his evening riding Perfect Glory.
All right, OK. Best bets then? What are we into?
Yeah, I've probably let the cat out of the bag already. I really like this Sunny Boy. I think he's a massive chance here in the last. So he's going to be my best. John Moore, I've got 1 John Size on top and 1 John Moore. Set up nicely for the final meeting. A wonderful journey, a really well-rated horse. A last start winner. He did win 2 in a row last season, don't forget. 62, and he's at the 76. And it's him there with Matthew Poon and Stexon's Super Turbo, Waldorf and Sunny Boy.
All right, for me, I'm going to go with In Folding, race 5, number 2. First start at the Valley, for the King Casper Founds in the King Handicap.
Wow.
Race 5, number 2. Race 3, number 9, Junzi, is my long shot for Matthew Chadwick. I think there's a number of races on the card that look very open. We saw one earlier, 5-1 the field. I think Junzi's a little rough hope. And an interesting play of the day, I'm going to do something different here. A Tierce, Hong Kong Bet, Forza Angel, Jumbo Happiness, Special Stars, those 4. I've left out Healthy Luck, which is Paul's on top. Got my fingers crossed.
All right, for me, I'm going to race number 6, so just figured in your play there, Brett, so hopefully you're not too far wrong. Big weight for Hong Kong Bet, but I think last time out, or last win here, beating Frustrate, I think looks pretty good. And Starlit Night, he likes to lead. He probably won't find the lead because there's a bit of pace engaged there, but he hits a place more often than not, and Jack Wong's got a good record on him as well. 2, 6 and 9 is the play, the QQP in race number 4, including Starlit Night, of course. All right, there you go. That's Happy Valley. And then there was one more racing to win to go. We got Sha Tin on the weekend, 11 races. Looks a strong program too. Yeah,
it'll be an early start at Sha Tin, as it will be at Happy Valley. First Hong Kong time, 6:45.
And Sunday's program, Paul, some pretty big names stepping out there. It'll be interesting to see what John Moore's Thanks Forever does as well, up to 1,400 metres.
Yeah, it's interesting setting them up and trip. And of course, John Moore and John Size will have half their stable out each, won't they?
They will.
For the final. So looking forward to it. Should be good.
Just 2 pieces of the puzzle to be placed in, Andrew.
It certainly is. That's the show, though. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Paul, Brett and the rest of the team, hope we see you at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We will be racing to win.
Ciao, ciao.
Good night.